So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Denise Gagne. I was the one who came up with the Musicplay idea, and I have this wonderful team around me that has turned it into this incredible website. So I am going to share with you what's new on Musicplay Online. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the old site. It's still alive, barely. I said it was on life support till the end of last year. The plug has now been pulled. We're not updating anything. So this is the student view, but if this is what you were used to, you would know that if you clicked into a grade up here, you would see these 6 boxes. So this was the song list. This is where teacher tools were and your song notation. This is where your videos were, printables, arrangements, all the interactives were here. Accompaniment tracks here, they were downloadable. I think that has perhaps died. And concept slides were here. They're disabled on student view, so I can't show you on this site. Over here with the games, and when we ran out of room, you clicked here and we got more of them underneath. It didn't resize particularly well, which was one of the reasons we really needed to rebuild the site. Over here on the left menu, these are teeny tiny and got squished because I kept wanting to add more and more and more. So the tech team talked me into grouping things on the new. So instead of ukulele, guitar, recorder, boomwhacker, it's now grouped into instruments. The directories are now filters on the song list. So you don't need those directories. I'll show you how you can do it on the new. The composition tools are now in a toolbox. So all of these tools here, tempo tool, metronome, form tool, the word walls are all in the toolbox. Online learning is very, very close on the new to what it was on the old. On the old, we selected a grade, went to it, and then you had all your lessons. It's going to look very similar on the new. I want to call them now lesson modules. I've requested a name change and they're going to have to do it in an update. Units actually look quite similar to what they were here. And then the lesson planning section is much updated and improved. In fact, we've done some updates this week. So that is the classic. It's due for retirement really, really soon. Complete retirement. This is the new. And so when you come to the new, it looks really, really different than what the old did. And you'll see in this webinar why they built it the way that they did. It took me a while to figure out why it was so powerful, and now I'm a believer. So if I use the Discover search engine, I can search for a concept or a song title, and I'll find out which of the learning modules or lesson modules it's in. I'll find it in practice zone. I'll find it in toolbox. I'll find it in games. I'll find it in units, and I'll find songs that relate to it. So I'm going to pick one of these songs because I don't want to sit for the whole time that I'm here. And I'm going to use Tony Chestnut as my example. I personally love this song. So the 6 boxes, actually, I'm going to have to change. I'm going to go to the song list. And I'm going to go through grade 2. So the 6 boxes that we saw on the classic, this is now the song list. So where it was in a teeny tiny little box before, now it's front and center. And I get a really quick look at what concepts these different songs are teaching. So again, I don't need a directory because now I can go to grade 2 and I can see all the ORF songs and what their tone, set, and rhythm is, just with one quick look. So now let's look at Tony Chestnut. So the song list is on the outside. Now on the inside, the first thing that you see is all the videos. And we've got beautiful little thumbnails, so it's way easier to see what you're choosing. Concept slides. These right now contain lots of, I call these gems. This is the notation. We always include that first, and then the 1 slide lyrics. And then we have the song written out as it would be in the video. And then we teach the tempo words that we used in it. So what we're going to do, we have space here. We're going to split those up this fall, and we're going to have notation slide, lyric slide, teaching slide. So there'll be more in this area when we're finished with that. Our arrangements are here. And for every song, there's piano, ukulele, guitar, unless it's ridiculously difficult. We have ukulele in D for many songs. Boomwhackers are great. For little people, let me just see what we've got here. Okay, Tony Chestnut. We've got the kids' note notation first, and then we've got the hints, and then we've got standard notation. And just a hint for you on PDFs, if you want them to go full screen, you can. I can't reach it because the Zoom controls are underneath. You can do that full screen and teach from a PDF. ORF arrangement is here if you want to do an ORF arrangement. And if you want to read the lyrics or print them out, that's here for you too. So here's the printables box. And for Tony Chestnut, we have an Ask Me page, and we've just rebuilt these. So these are new. This is a John Feierabend idea. He suggests sending the words of a song home with kids and have them sing it to 3 people that they know. So we've included the lyrics at the bottom, an Ask Me question, ask me to show you the actions for the song, and a place for the kids to draw a picture. If you are not singing this year, this is an alternate way of getting the kids to sing the songs. You could give them this Ask Me page, have them complete it in class. It's hard to fill up a 45-minute grade 2 music class without singing. So you can have them listen to the song 3 or 4 times, do the movements, then draw a picture and give them a link to the song so that they can sing it once they get home. So I always love to do rather than to talk. So I'm going to go to the lyrics video and I'm going to play this for you, and I want you to do the movements with me. So I'm going to back up, try not to knock anything over, and I'd like to see everybody doing this with me. 6, 7. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows, Tony knows, Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. And now we're gonna go faster. Allegro. Here we go. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows, Tony knows, Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. It's going even faster. Let's go presto. Tony Chestnut knows I love you. Tony knows, Tony knows, Tony Chestnut knows I love you. That's what Tony knows. So the whole purpose of that song is to do actions at different tempos, and you use that to teach the tempo terms. So the 6 boxes that we had on the old site are all here. You just have to click into a song to see them. So here's the teacher tools, and the teacher tools are going to be updated fairly quickly. So don't print anything yet, just download the PDFs and save them. The information is not changing, but it looks a lot better, and it contains more information. Actually, it's really good. So here's the song actions, teaching purpose. We have a concept slide that does this, and we use it to review fast and slow. So that's what's in the song activities. The week at a glance, again, we've got an updated version of this coming in the next couple of weeks, actually, and it's going to be quite beautiful. Tony Chestnut, the lyrics, we don't really need it in a box, but if you're doing a choral piece and you want to tie it into a theme, being able to read the lyrics at a glance is quite handy. And then we have the accompaniment tracks, and you can download this. So if it doesn't download right away, just click on those little 3 dots. There's the accompaniment track. So that's where the boxes are. Now let's take a look at the things that are on the left menu. The dashboard, really important. If you miss a webinar, go into announcements. And this is another one where I'd like a name change. I'd like to have another announcements box and webinar box here, so we can post them. So here was where you had the link to register to new features, this webinar today, And this is where you'll come to watch the recording. And here's other webinars that I did before the Artie and Denise conference. Subtubs, definitely worth listening to for the new year. Self-care, definitely watch this one. She's got some really good suggestions for staying healthy when you go back to school. And we all tend to, the balance goes like this: work too much, not enough for us. And she's got some ideas for keeping things in balance. I'd leave campfire songs till June. Peter and the Wolf Carnival of the Animals. It's an overview of all the beautiful things we've got on the website. So those are in announcements. The other area of my dashboard, if you're new to this, is student access code. So the first time you go here, you are going to see generate my access code, or generate the student access code, and you'll click on it. Once it's generated, it never changes, never, ever, ever. If you stay a subscriber for 10 years, your code's going to stay the same. I hope I'm not lying. But this is my code. I don't need to teach this to the kids, because anytime I give the kids a link, it's going to embed in it. So originally I was teaching you cute little songs so the kids could learn the code. Forget those. You don't need them. If I go back to Tony Chestnut in grade 2, and it's right down here. Okay, if I go back to Tony Chestnut and I want to give kids a link, let's say to the kids demo, so that they can practice this at home. I copy the link, and if I bring up a new incognito window, this is what the students will see when they go on. So they come here and they'll get this. Am I going on as a student or an educator? Let's hope they all go on as a student. And you see my code is embedded in here. I don't have to give it to them. They don't have to remember. They just have to click access some fun. And they go right to the video. That's the beautiful part of what Nathan and the team have built for us with this access code. Okay, I am going to go from here. We had a question on Facebook about filters and how to use filters. So I've got a selection of fields that I can filter for. So if I choose to filter by rhythm, I can choose 16th notes and all my results appear here. Fabulous. And you can see a lot of these are grade 3 songs, because in my scope and sequence, grade 3 is where I teach 16th notes. If I choose to filter by, let's look at T-Tigga. And again, it's going to mostly be grade 4 and 5, because that's where I teach it. The odd one is going to be in an earlier grade. Filters for tone set are working beautifully now. High do was problematic because of the apostrophe, and they've got it fixed. So now if I'm looking for a song with high do, boom, it's there. I can do multiple filters, but I'm mostly going to let you play around with this. Tone set is, again, handy. I want to review me-so. So what are my me-so songs? We have a few false positives coming here that have la in it. We'll go through and we'll weed those out. So it is just the me and arrangements, and any of these songs are going to have a wealth of interactive activities, ORF arrangements for you, all kinds of things. Let's look at engine number 9. Oh, I think, there we go. So all of these have all these reading songs where you see the tone set listed. We'll probably have a beat and rhythm challenge where they point to the beat. I can have them audiate some beats. I can clap the words, or the way the words go. It's what I call rhythm. Rhythm is the way the words go. I can do the beat rhythm switch game. These are actually all being rebuilt right now, and they're quite beautiful. This is an assessment if they can tell if it's the beat or the rhythm. They hear a pattern, and if they hear the beat, they tap their hearts. If they hear rhythm, they clap the words. And this is beautiful for our little ones. Engine, 1 sound or 2. 9, 1 sound. So these beat and rhythm have a wealth of material. The matching worksheets are over here in printables, Beat and Rhythm. Now, the newest thing on the site is My Lists, where you can create your own list. And I've been demoing this. You can see I did it for Shelby County in Alabama, and I did it for Crowley in Texas. If you would like a webinar with Denise, just send an email, and I'm happy to do it for districts. Right now for districts of 10 or more, because I'm so overly busy. But if I want to add a new lesson, I'm going to call this Webinar Test Lesson August 11th. And I'm going to add my list. This is a little confusing. Ignore this. Okay, you don't need to use this at all. It's easier actually if you do it without this. But I'm going to make my list. And then I'm going to go back to my songs. Now, what did we do? We did Tony Chestnut. So let's go into grade 2, find Tony Chestnut again. And I want the kids to have both the lyrics video and the kids demo. So I'm going to pull up the lyrics, and the Zoom window is blocking me, so I have to move my Zoom window. I click Add to My List, and then it's going to ask me to select one. So I'm selecting our test, and I'm going to say Tony Chestnut lyrics, just so I remember, and I add it, and it's done. Close out of this. I want to add the kids demo, and I'm going to go Add to My List, Webinar, Kids Demo. And I've got that in my lesson now. I'm looking at some of the interactives, and I'd really love to have these in as well. This Tempo Interactive is one of my favorite tools on the site. So now if you're looking for a standalone version of it, it's here in the toolbox, and just click Concepts. But right now I have it here, so I am going to add it to my list. And here with the interactives, it's really good to add your note, because the title doesn't always appear. Tempo Interactive, add to my list, and I want it on this list, and I add it. I hope that worked. So I can add that. If I want to go to add an external, I'm going to show you that first. So let's go to my list and see what it looks like. So there's my list. My first activity is Tony Chestnut lyrics video. The second is the kids demo, and the third is the Tempo Interactive. And you can see I needed my note here for it. And if I want to play this, I can choose from these. Now I'm going to use Largo Moderato Allegro because Tony Chestnut's grade 2, and we would go first time Largo. Are you ready? We're going to clap it. Here we go. And rest. I have to say, I hate anything slow. So let's go presto. I've always been a big fan of using our musical terms in context, not just having kids memorize. When I did my theory exams, I had to memorize that presto meant very fast. And that's a good thing to know. More important, that I'm able to use it in a musical context. So that's how I created this list for my Tony Chestnut lesson. I can go into my learning modules and I can copy them. So let's look at one of my lessons for back to school. I'm going to take grade 1, and the back to school lessons are at the bottom of this list. There was a question, am I making new lessons for this coming year? And the answer is no, you can make your own lessons now. So you can simply take my lesson, copy it, and then you can edit it, and I will show you how. So we're looking at grade 1, and what I want to do is to copy it. So I'm going to copy this to my list. And now I have a copy of it. Now I'm going to show you the editor. You don't use this a lot. You use this to edit titles. You use this to add links. You don't use it for anything else. So I'm going to change my thing to say grade 1 back to school to August week 2. And I'm doing that because I know that my list is going to get full and I'm going to have lots of additions to this. So now I go down to the bottom and I save it. But the editing is really easier on this side, not the back side. So welcome to school. Do I want this or do I want my new welcome song? I'll keep it. Welcome to music. But I'll show you another one as we go along. Instrument rhythm. I don't know if you remember this from last year, but this was a fun little activity where we did say it, clap it, say and clap.
Drum, drum, shaker,
we
shaker.
Echo.
Drum, drum, shaker, shaker.
And then we say and clap.
Drum, shaker, shaker.
And you echo.
Drum.
So we're going to keep that one. I like that little warm up. It's a great little activity. So the next activity was to draw and color instrument pictures of the drum and the shakers. And the idea with this is kids cut them out and they make their own patterns. My pattern had a drum and a drum and a shaker and a shaker. The kids might go drum, shaker, drum, shaker. If you put 2 kids together and they have 8 cards, I might go drum, shaker, shaker, drum, shaker, shaker, drum, drum. Grade 1, I'm finding a lot of kids are coming into school without enough printing skill and reading skill to fill this out themselves. So I've got guided printing practice here. My name is, and they can fill it out. Again, if you're not allowed to sing this year, this is going to be an awesome activity for you to do. I really like it, but you know what? I've got some games that deal with classroom instruments, and oh, I'd love to add it to this lesson. So I'm going to go into my games and I'm going to go to the trivia wheel game. This was new in June, so you haven't been on the site a lot since then. You might not have found these yet. And I want this one, classroom instruments, because it'll tie in well with my shaker drum activity. So I select it and I'm going to add it to my list, but I'm going to show you first. Actually, I'm just going to add it to my list. I'm going to add it to grade 1, back to school 2. That's the list that I want. And again, this is an interactive, add some notes. Trivia, wheel, classroom, instruments. And I'm going to add it to the list and it should be done. I'm going to, now I'll show you how to play it. Nathan, this is one thing, it doesn't disappear. Just make a little note of that one. I'll show you when we go back. I'm going to go back into games. And I'm going to pick another game that's new. So our bingo games, again, were rebuilt and they were new as of June in last year. Our teachers in Canada who go till the 30th of June really, really like these because it gave them something new to do. I can pick a team 1 mascot. I like the penguin and I like the giraffe. So that's team 2. Now, these now correct. They didn't used to. So classroom instrument bingo only has 9 selections for your littles. If we go to orchestra bingo, 16 selections for your older kids. So that's our game. Any one of those lines will win. So team 1's turn, I can tell because he's wiggling and it says team 1 in yellow. And that sounds like the sound blocks. I'd divide my class in 2 and I'd have hands up and they would tell me what it is. So it will take longer. Oh, guess what? Team 2 gets exactly the same one. Rip off. And team 1 gets the guiro. What does team 2 get? Sounds like jingle bells to me. So that's how you play the game. And the kids really have been loving this, this game. So let's go back to our lesson and see if they add it. It's in this lesson, and it should be at, I have to scroll over here. If I scroll here, it goes up and down this list. If I scroll here, it goes up and down my lesson. So there they are. I have my, oh no, I've got 2 lessons, Nathan. Did I do it twice?
Not sure what's quite is happening there.
I'm not sure either. Okay, so Nathan's here with us so he can help fix bugs. I'm going to use this to show you how you can delete. I hit this little garbage can and that goes away. And I'm going to delete that. I'm going to leave my instrument bingo and get rid of that, 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 and that. Okay, yeah, I've got multiple copies of it going here. How many, I wonder? So if I want to move these games up, because I had the classroom instrument activity earlier in the lesson, if I want to move them up, I use these arrows. And it's
I think there's something weird happening with, it's not duplicating, it's actually just creating a massive list. Yeah, perfect.
Oh,
Yeah.
We'll look into
went
that.
up this time. This is a version 1 of this tool, and Nathan is here with us so that if I completely fuddle up, he can help me out. He's helped me out last week. And then we also are seeing what's appearing when the user is using it. Okay, so now I have the trivia wheel classroom instruments game right next to my instrument rhythm activity, which is where I wanted it. And I put in trivia wheel classroom instruments. If I launch it here, I can show you the game. So we're going to just start. It's team 1's turn. If I don't want the music, I can turn it off. If I want to turn off the timer, I can turn off the timer as well. Now I spin for team 1. And look, we got an 800-point question. So divide your kids into 2 groups. I want group 1 to tell me what instrument is named after its shape. Is it number 1, the drum, or is it number 2, the triangle? So I hope you're all showing me number 2. I got it right. And now it's team 2's turn. So over on this side, I'm going to spin and see how many points you get for your question. Oh, only 200 points. So what instrument is often used around Christmas time? Number 1, jingle bells, or number 2, bongos? And I'm seeing number 1, and I was right. So that's how you play the game. There's 10 questions in total, so 5 for team 1, 5 for team 2. If you have a lopsided score, play the game again, and it'll even things out. Do the best out of 3. I went to a pickleball tournament this morning, and that was really interesting. I'd never seen that before. So there's my trivia wheel. If I want to take out an activity, this was done for home learning, and I think almost everybody now is in person. We're going to just delete it and get rid of it. Wash, wash, wash your hands. I think that's still a good thing for kids to learn. She'll be coming around the mountain. I chose this last year for the teachers who couldn't sing because it had lots of movements. If you can't sing, you can still do the movements and listen to it. And we gave an additional activity, which was the reproducible little book, which I actually will replace with one where they draw the pictures, or add the one where they draw the pictures. Kids can make this. If you're pushing into classrooms, they've all got scissors in their classrooms. They can cut it out themselves, put it together, and then they can take that home and read it to their parents. What shall we do? What shall we do when we all go out? All go out, all go out. What shall we do when we all go out? When we all go out to play? I think this is really good because grade 1 kids just coming back to school. They're going out to play on the playground, gives you an opportunity to talk about how they should make friends, how they should, if they see somebody standing by themselves, invite them to come and play with them, and what kinds of things are we going to do on the playground. Move to the drum. That's just a movement activity. Let's get kids up and off the screen. And then the music time is over. The music time is over. I had these slides in when I first built these. Again, I would take these out because they're referring to the old site, not the new. Optional assessments, you're going to create your own. I would pull that out. Music as literacy. I'm going to show you where the advocacy posters are. And those are gone. So if I want to move my instrument bingo game up, I can, and we will work on those duplicate activities to see if we can figure out why mine's duplicating. So do we have any questions in the chat about what we've seen so far?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
So one question is, can we send them just one level of an interactive or like one slide?
Most of the interactives, yes, we've been rebuilding them so that that's going to be possible. There are some interactives where you can't. And the one that you can't right now is the beat and rhythm. But I was actually talking to one of the developers today who said to tell you, it's a feature that we're working on so that you can go to it and send just one page of it. It's going to take a little bit of work, and there's 177 of them. So it will take us a little bit of time to get them all built out. But I would say maybe by Christmas, would I be about right, Nathan?
Yeah, we're working on it right now. And basically the idea is whatever movement you take within an activity, you'll be able to send to your kids and they will be able to get directly to it. And I would anticipate that before, I'm aiming for probably end of September or sooner for that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the sheer volume that we have because there's beat and rhythm songs in all grades and they're really good activities. Many of the upper grade ones are just rhythm erase and rhythm sort. So those ones aren't as necessary. It's the little ones that we need the individual links for. Okay,
Yep.
Any other questions, Carrie Lynn?
Yes. How can we share our list or our lesson either to students or to principals or stakeholders? XYZ.
I can't answer that. Can you answer that, Nathan? Is it shareable right now, or is this a V1 and we can't share?
So with my list, it's shareable in the same way that everything else is shareable on the site. You can copy the link with the access code embedded, and that'll take your students directly to the lesson plan.
Okay, let me just try it and see in an incognito window.
And there's something weird happening with yours. We're trying to duplicate it in the back right now.
Okay, and it does, it works. So I can share that lesson. So instead of giving your principal a print copy, give your principal a virtual copy and save some paper.
Excellent. Okay. And then also to students, of course, do the same thing.
Yes.
Deleting an entire list at one time.
We don't have this for V1.
Yeah, that's a V2.
We had this discussion because my list is getting quite full.
Yeah.
So in version 2, and again, I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but in version 2, we're going to have a way of categorizing and a way of deleting. Deleting first, probably, Nathan, right?
Yes, that's correct. Deleting is a lot easier, so I anticipate working on that and getting that launched here very, very quickly. But categorization, I know some people have been asking about folders or categories and stuff like that. Yes, we hear you. We're going to have to figure out a strategy behind that in particular. So that'll take a little bit extra time, but that is definitely on our radar.
I can show you a hack. I can take this particular grade 1 lesson and I am going to, okay, where did my edit button go?
It
Right
got, yeah, pushed over. Perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to make this blank lesson. And I'm going to save that. And then I simply go through and I delete everything that's in it. And then I can reuse that spot. So temporarily, this is my hack for reusing my lessons. But that's all that it is. It's a hack. It's not what we expect you to be doing. But you can see now, I don't have anything in that lesson. And it actually, so now I have a blank lesson up at the top, and I can build a new lesson, and I can rename it according to what I want. So if you're playing around with it and you want to get it, just delete the ones that you've already done. Just do what I just did, and it'll work. Okay.
One
more
last thing,
questions, Kim.
Denise, before you jump into the next section. Can you show how to add an external link to a My
Yes.
List?
Okay, let's go to our webinar test. And I'm going to pull a YouTube link. So I'm going to open up a new window and pull up YouTube. And I am going to go to Rhythm Imposter, because that's really fun. Wait till you see what we are building that is similar to this. It's going to be Rhythm Jedis.
Why have this?
And they're going to have
when you can have
tons
this?
of fun with it.
We're
So
proud
I'm
to
going to
offer.
close down that link. And now I have to use the edit button. So I can't do this from the front. I have to do this from the back. So I'm going to go down to the end and add a procedure. And I'm going to call this Rhythm Imposter, and it's a link. You actually can't add these other things yet, and we're not sure how we're going to handle it, because if everybody adds their own videos, our site is going to bulge and it's going to have too much data in it. So not sure if that's going to be possible, but I can add my Rhythm Imposter link. There's my link. I want it to open in a new tab. So I'm going to add it, and then I'm going to save it. So let's go see if my link worked. There's my Rhythm Imposter, and there it is. Adds it all. Didn't even have the ad. Okay, is that clear? Are we good? Should I say that one more time? I go to edit. I go down to the end. I add a procedure. I name it. And I'm going to make sure that this is a link. I'm going to select link, do that, open in a new tab, and add. And now I've got it twice in my lesson. And
Denise,
don't forget to save.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have learned this over the years. You save often. When I write my newsletters, that program crashes on me. And sometimes I'll be 3/4 of the way through the newsletter and go, oh, I haven't saved yet. And sometimes it crashes before I get it saved and my whole hour's worth of work is gone. Hopefully this is quicker than an hour. Some of the other new things that are on the website. People find Musicplay big, and it is big. And one of the things that I would suggest you do is to go into lesson planning, go look at the overview. And we've added the music advocacy posters here. As we build more of them, we'll fill this up even more. It would be lovely if we could have like one a week. Danae's been building these and doing just fabulous. So this is my Music is Literacy with links to the actual studies that talk about how children who keep the beat are more fluent readers. Can I do that? No. Oh, okay. So here is our scope and sequence. This is a 2-page scope and sequence that just shows where I introduce things. So you can see that 16th notes, I said I introduced them in 3, that's where I introduce them. And that aligns pretty well to most curriculums. This is our complete K6 song list. We will update to add pre-K because it's not there yet. But this is new, and we've actually been working really hard to get these up quickly, and I would like to get all grades up here. But what this month outline includes is what is in the song list for Musicplay. I'm going to go to September because that's where the song list actually starts. What's in the song list in brackets is the concept. What's in the lesson module? This is what I included in the lesson module for September week 1. And then here is all the additional options on Musicplay. If we're back to school in September, I could use the back to school unit. Rhythm practice, solfa practice. In the modules, there's some real gems of modules that I should show before our webinar's done. So I would strongly recommend you go download them, save the paper, don't print them yet, because we probably will be editing and updating as we go through. But these month outlines, if you don't have the binders, they will tell you what's coming when. The other place you can find that, of course, well, you can't find it exactly, but if you go to the song list, and if I go to grade 1, here I've got my songs. It just doesn't tell me what week they are in. But I know from my own experience, this is all week 1. I usually don't get to Little Red Wagon. It usually doesn't, it usually gets left out. But that month outline will tell you that September week 1 is going to include these, and it's probably going to be in the learning module that I built. So I will do a little bit of editing in the learning modules, but basically they're going to stay as they were last year.
Denise, do you want to try something with me right now? I just want to see if something works. Can you scroll up? So you're in grade 1 right now. Can you scroll up to the filters in the top there? If you click on add a filter and you select a field and go to month/weeks, this may work. If you select week 1 or the week that you're looking for,
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so third way to kind of plan your lessons. If you are a well-trained ORF teacher and that's your preferred method of teaching, you'll have an ORF arrangement in almost every week. And then these extra songs are here to add some variety. Doobie Doobie Doo is a warm-up song that I just love. If you have never done it with your students, you need to. Here's the demo of how to do it. Back to my search, and it still stays. They're all fun. I don't put something in here unless I would walk into your classroom and teach this lesson if I was able to tomorrow. I would just go in and teach it. But that's very helpful. But I do think the lesson planning, downloading and printing those month outlines, not necessarily printing yet, but downloading for sure, putting them in a folder. So you have a quick paper reference without printing out too many pages. It's going to be 11 times 8 if you have all 8 grades, so 88 pages. And I would do them on colored paper. I'd do grade 1 on yellow, grade 2 on orange, grade 3 on pink, grade 4 on light blue, 5 on green. So it matches our Musicplay colors. Okay, have we got any more questions carried in, or I'm going to motor through and touch on some of the new modules?
Totally.
So,
Yes. Is it okay? Yes, but there are some questions. So one question is, if you copy your lesson module into your own My List, will the copied version go back to your original version if you do edits, or will it stay with the version that you've edited? Does that make sense?
My take on that would be, once you've copied it, whatever changes you make will only affect the copy. They're not going to affect the one that Denise made. So if you mess up and you go, oh, shoot, I wish I had that, you can go back and copy it a second time and change your mind.
To add to that, the vice versa is also true. So if Denise makes updates or changes to her learning module, what you copied is a copy of her version at that point in time. So you would have to make a new copy of her learning module and adjust it from there. So that's how it works right now. What we didn't want to have happen is Denise going through or us going through and updating things and it now pointing to either a different area of the site, or B, not being what you wanted to teach in that class without your basically pre-approval. So that's how we're trying to deal with that.
Yeah. There are things that I would like to change. I'm going to just show you the new storybooks module. And one of the things that I found last year as I was building modules, I was getting tired of the same welcome song every class. And so I started thinking through options. And when I found this book, it just was a no-brainer to create a little welcome song for this book. So this is what it sounds like, because my singing voice, I hope, gets fixed on the 25th. It may not.
Welcome, welcome everyone. We will have a lot of fun making music every day. All are welcome here.
And the book that it goes with is the story All Are Welcome Here. I have to add the ISBN to this and a link to where you can order it. But the book is such a good book. All Are Welcome by Alexandra Penfold and Suzanne Kaufman. Pencils sharpened in their case. Bells are ringing. Let's make haste. School's beginning. Dreams to chase. All are welcome here. And then you sing, welcome, welcome everyone. You would sing the refrain. It repeats 10 times. So if you don't want to do the refrain 10 times, just do it every second time. But a great book for you. So this is in modules, and it's the storybooks module. The other module that I really love all these books. This one goes really well with One Green Jelly Bean. Swimmy is just such a good book about cooperating and collaborating in a classroom. And May Among the Stars, I actually wrote a choral piece that goes with that book. So those are all good. The listening walk lesson is a really good lesson as well to do beginning of the year. Of course, I can't do everything, but I will do probably bi-weekly webinars until we've got everybody comfortable with the new site, and then we will see if we can get some guest presenters in as well. Units has changed a wee bit. We've reduced some of the names in here and changed some. This was called instruments before, but it's a unit on the instruments of the orchestra, so I changed it to orchestra. Dance is still dance, but we've added line dancing here as well. Drumming is here and it's in instruments. Festivals and holidays. I am so excited because we have now alphabetical order. So for quite some time there, they were in random order. Back to school lesson, back to school unit has really, really good materials for you. These are all the name games that are already in Musicplay. They're all good. We have a welcome, what's this? Welcome to school. These are welcome songs. These are mixers that are lots of fun to do sort of as icebreakers. Behavior notes. Who doesn't need these? Download, print them, see which ones suit your style. The music room rules is really good. I love this lesson. Make good choices, always be responsible. And then I have body percussion to go with it. So the body percussion is right here. Oops, you know what? We're updating that. Let's see if it works this time. Okay, we're updating that, and it's probably off because we're updating. This little Hello Beat chant is a really good game for kids. Jump in, jump out. Another really good game for kids. Jump in, jump out, turn yourself around. Jump in, jump out, introduce yourself. My name's Denise. Class goes, oh yeah, and I like to travel. Oh yeah, I'm standing next to Carolyn. All right, all right, all right. So this back to school unit has gems. If you teach in French, we've got it in French as well. And likely Spanish is coming. So units is beautiful and wonderful. You're just gonna have to explore. I will mention, and I'll mention this in probably the next few webinars, the listening units right now include History of Jazz, which is great. The Carnival of the Animals, we'll be adding Peter and the Wolf, and we have exclusive rights to the composer DVDs. So Bach's Fight for Freedom, Handel's Last Chance, Strauss King of Three-Quarter Time, Rossini's Ghost, Bizet's Dream, and Liszt's Rhapsody. And we're gonna build units around all of them with active listening ideas, explanation pages that explain what's fictional in the video and what's fact. And so we're going to build units on each of these. Our theory, we're still building out, but you'll find a new staff lesson here with beautiful interactives. And I always like to do this early in the year as well. So here is the interactive for the staff and the treble clef. Here's the assessment activities for it. If you still want to use the old one, if you're more comfortable with that, it's here. And here is notes on the lines, notes and spaces, middle C to G. I like to do this. I asked for this so that you could do this before you start boom whackers in the instruments. Listening kits haven't changed a lot since last year. Instruments are more streamlined and easier to navigate. So body percussion, now it's noted, which is Christian's beginner, Christian's advanced, holiday holiday body percussion, and then Orff style body percussion, which are these beautiful lessons that Anthony Ellen made for us. Rhythm practice is going to change. I'll talk about that the next time when we perhaps we're going to change these filters so that you have echo, play-alongs, poison rhythm. Our new rhythm Jedi will go in here. And then once you've filtered for the activity, you'll choose the level. And instead of being a big long string of activities, it will just be the play-alongs if that's what you've selected. Solfa practice hasn't changed. I'm going to go over here. Solfa practice hasn't changed a lot. It's still got the same levels. What we've started to do is to create mixed key signatures and single key signatures. This is how Lois Choksey taught me in my Kodai levels. This is how John Feierabend prefers to practice Kodai. So we're going to do the Soulfish both ways. Poison melody will still be there, and you'll be able to filter the same way we're planning to filter the rhythm practice. Vocal warm-ups, we have work to do. Toolbox is fabulous, and this is where your composing tools are. So if it's a tool, it's here. Here's your rhythm, here's your melody. I am thinking you can search for that on the Discover as well. Am I right?
Should be able to. Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, there I go. So if I search for it on my Discover search engine, I can find it that way. So anybody who's still looking for it, two ways. One, just go to the toolbox, filter it out, or two, search for it on the Discover. The concept practice is where I have that beautiful tempo tool that I showed earlier on Tony Chestnut. And we also have a dynamics activity more planned. Tuners, guitar, ukulele, virtual instruments are here. Take off composing. And so this is where all the virtual instruments are. And they have been improved and updated also. Now, instead of using a mouse on them, I can use the number pad. So I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for C, D, E, F, G. Way easier to play. The visuals are additional charts and things. So tone ladders will be attached to any reading song, any Solfa reading song, but you can access them here if you just want them for a warm-up. Form tool, again, I want to add another level to this because I run out of letters. Sometimes I have more than 4 groups, so I need more than A, B, C, D. Here's our beat charts and staff tools, and our word walls are here. Before, they were all on that crowded left menu. Now they're in one little section of the toolbox. So everything's here that was on the old site. You'll just find it by looking for Discover. So if I want ways to move, let's see if this works. Ways to move. And we found it. It's here. So if there's a favorite thing from the classic site that you're not finding quickly, try searching on the Discover tool first. Okay, questions?
Yes.
What other questions do you have? Yes.
Yes, we do. So going back to my list, number 1, can you show the 2 different ways to add a Sprout video, an alternate video and a primary video?
I think they get added the same way.
But
I
just
don't think there's I think there's a difference. So I can still, this is the my list that I created. I just went to the video, I added it. I don't think it matters whether I'm on primary or alternate. And then I can still switch to the alternate if you can't use
Excellent.
video. Okay, I don't
Perfect.
think that
Yep.
changes.
No, it was just a visualization of that. Alrighty, so can you go over how to copy a learning module one more time, one of yours into my list?
Okay, so if I've got learning modules here, let's say I've got pre-K and I want pre-K lesson 1. This would be week 1 of September. Then I go up to here and I copy it to my list. And it's copied. It's already there. So if I go back to my list, that lesson will be here. There it is.
Perfect.
It's there. And then I can edit, I can make it my own. Yeah, time for music. We need a few new welcome songs. I think the welcome everyone will be good for pre-K too. I'm going to put it in August. So at least if you start in August, you won't have you won't have time for music for the whole school year. Okay, more questions.
Okay, I think this one is more for Nathan. So if we created lessons using the older site, are these links still available or do we need to go through and substitute new ones?
That's a really good question. So yeah, there's a couple things with that. When we moved over to the new site, we tried to take as many of the old URLs as possible and point them to the new areas of the site. That being said, we haven't been able to do that for everything. So I would definitely go through your lessons, just make sure that they're still working. And for the most part, they should, but you may have to adjust some of the links according to the new structure of the site as well.
Okay. Awesome. And then we did have another question about organizing my lists. And so we are hopefully good. That's going to be V2 of my lists. We wanted to get it pushed so you guys can start using it.
Yeah,
that is coming.
And specifically to that, the comment on organizing by grades or something specific, probably that's the way we're going to go, is by actually categorizing it by an existing filter within Musicplay Online, because that allows it. It's very easy for us to give you access to existing filters or existing content. It's much more difficult to allow you to create new filters or custom folders or things like that. So just in the sake of trying to give you access to those features, we'll probably try and make use of our existing categorization systems.
I have to jump in here and say, I can't say I was totally thrilled with beta when it first came out. It was probably about a 4-month process until I was comfortable using it. But now that the My List has come, I can realize how brilliant the team was that built it. And you're looking at the team. Primarily, it was Carrie Lynn and Nathan. And I did not appreciate what they were doing until I saw what we could do with My List. And that's the big thing that's come out of the way they built it, aiming for this. So yeah, we're pretty excited. Okay, I see a hand up. Can you unmute and ask your question? Have to unmute. I can't hear you.
Unmute. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Thank you. Our school requires us to attach standards for music. Is there anywhere where we kind of have the standard that goes with the skill? I know that's asking a lot.
You know, I have been working this in my head since 2014 when they first came out. And what I think I have come up with that I'm going to do is I'm going to build posters for the 4 areas. So creating, performing, or selecting, creating, performing, and connecting. And then when you do one of those, you go and point to the poster. One of our teachers on Facebook had made a comment that she has those kinds of posters on her whiteboard, and she has lights attached to them, closet lights, so that when she's doing something, she asks the kids to go up and say, okay, what are we doing now? And they go up and do it. I think rather than me trying to do it from the website to the standards, I think it's going to be better. The standards, the new standards are really about process more than content. And so I think when you're using that process, that would be the good thing to do. One thing I have done is, I don't know if I can pull this up and show, but in our new song activities template, I have gone through every song that I've done to date, and I've gone through the national standards and marked off which ones I feel I could complete with that song. Let's see if I can pull it up fast without showing you my whole messy computer. This is
If
sort
you
of
go
like my
to
life.
Doobie-Doo, the song list is updated for Doobie-Doo. It was one of
Oh,
my
yay.
examples
Okay.
earlier today.
Perfect. I'm glad you were here and saved me from this. So we put it up here just so we could show, okay. So this is what the new song list looks like. So you can see I have core art standards: create, perform, respond, connect. And Doobie-Doo is primarily the performing. And these are the skills that I think you would be using in Doobie-Doo. You're going to sing and you're going to move. Arrangements available on the site. Type of song, it's a call response. The theme, this one is a warm-up. Printables that we have available on the site. Interactives we have available on the site. The concepts and the I can statement. I am in love with this template. And so we've actually done it. All of grade 1's done, all of grade 5's done, grade 2 is underway. So as we get them finished, we're going to update song activities on the site.
You are amazing. Can I please put that in my my lesson planning book? Is that okay to use?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're a
so
subscriber on the
Thank
site. You can absolutely download and use this. And we've really cleaned up the lessons. Where I've got little extra suggestions, we've put them in here, and assessments. And in the week at a glance, we've got a little teacher tip for every week of the year. So I hope you enjoy those. Actually, it's been fun writing them. I love having the I can statements here, and I've reduced the number of I can statements. So my hope is after I finish grade 2, I can build I can statements that you can print out and then you stick on your wall when you're doing that song. So that is the plan. Okay, I see another hand up. Can you unmute and ask? I don't see your name. I'm sorry.
Kara, I'm Kara. It's okay.
Hi, Kara.
Is there ever going to be with the grade level songs, like the list of songs, will it ever be alphabetical?
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Is there a way we could do it alphabetically, Carolyn?
Actually, I'll jump in here. Sorting and filtering are kind of those weird things where we prioritized filtering over sorting. One of the things I'd like to do is add in the ability to sort by an alphabetical number, or sort by grade, or sort by different table headings that you see that show up there, but we don't currently have a timeline for that. It is technically possible, and it is something we've identified that we'd like to give everyone the option of being able to do. But that'll be a future kind of conversation.
Thank you.
That might be something too, that we could put an alphabetical list of songs as a PDF on the site, or as an Excel spreadsheet, or a Google Sheets. That is a possibility that we could put that on there, and then you could search that way. Honestly, if you're looking for any specific song, this search engine is really good. I go Tony Chestnut, and it's right there. So I don't know. I don't know your reasons for wanting the alphabetical sorting. So I think right now that the search engine is good enough that you may not need it. Okay, are there any others that have come in the chat, Carolyn?
We do have one that has been popping up quite a bit. How do students complete activities and submit?
So we don't track any student data, and that's to keep us completely FERPA and COPA compliant. And that technology is going to increase the cost of the website substantially. We can't do that unless we charge either a per student fee or a whole lot more than what we're charging now. So what our suggestion always has been, get the kids to screenshot and submit a screenshot. On my Mac, I can screenshot with Command Shift 3. Once I know how to do it, it's super fast. I'm sure there's a shortcut on Google Chromebooks where they can do that as well. I just don't know what it is because I don't use Chromebooks very much. But that's something that we probably will offer in the future, but it will be at additional cost. It won't be with the low cost, affordable version of the website that we have now.
Perfect. A lot of the other questions are mainly content-based, but if anybody has one final burning desire, please throw your hand up. If you are seeing, yes, screenshot is the way to go, but also that is for us as well. So if you're seeing something on the site that's being a little bit wonky, there's that bug
I'll
on the
show
side.
you the bug.
Yes.
Okay, there's the bug. And it takes 2 seconds to put it in. I put in my name. I put in what browser I'm using. It happened on Musicplay Online. And I'm going to put in a bug report, and games aren't going full screen. And I submit it. And then it goes straight to the tech team, and they will deal with it as quickly as they can. They have to deal with burning issues first and make sure the site's running and is fast and loading quickly for you. And then they will go to bugs.
Yes, awesome. Alrighty. Okay, this last question here. Can you explain the difference between units and learning modules? I think that's a pretty important one.
Okay. The learning modules were built first, and they were built in March 2020 when the schools shut down suddenly and we hadn't expected it. And Nathan, I bow down to you because he built them in 6 days. And after having built 350 or 400 modules, I am much better at building modules than I am at building units, which came a year later. So I have sometimes used modules for things that should be in units. For example, the bucket drum should probably be just in the units. Same with the jazz lessons. But because I knew how to do it, I built them. You will find a little difference in the bucket drumming because I have my lessons spelled out here, and each lesson I can scroll through a number of activities. So I actually quite like this way of teaching. I like that for myself. In the units, let's look at, oh, I didn't even look at instruments. I was thinking instruments. The units, drumming is going to come out of here and go into instruments. But yes, the reason there's extra things in modules is because Denise didn't know how to do it any other way. And that basically kind of explains it. Eventually, we'll probably clean these out and reduce the learning modules just to the lessons. There are some real gems in here. If you go into general, I love this movement fun module. It's fabulous. I love these no touch games, really good for the beginning of the year. Virtual music rules. Well, no, actually we should take that off because that was last year. But there's lots of really good things in the modules that are a little bit hidden. So yes, we should probably be transferring these all to units.
Mm-hmm. And I think some of them have started to be transferred.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're not 100% in love with how units look as well. So that will be changing a little bit as well. A really good question was asked, actually. Will the beta from the website address be deleted when the old site is retired? So Nathan, do you want to answer that question?
Yeah, actually,
it's on now.
It's already done. Yeah, so we are still changing our language internally here of calling it beta. But beta, or what was beta or rebuild or anything like that, is now Musicplay Online. The old version of Musicplay Online is classic, and that does exist for some limited time here. But beta is no longer in front of the URL address. If you still have links that say beta.musicplayonline.com, they will automatically be forwarded to musicplayonline.com without changing it.
Perfect. Okay, great. Sorry, I'm just scrolling really quick.
Oh, go for it.
Oh yeah, did you want to go?
No, I just saw a question talking about files in PDF library a little bit. So I just wanted to tease the fact that we are actively testing out 2 features coming soon, possibly, but we're working on them, which is an activities library as well as a files library. And so what we're hoping to do with this is actually give you the ability to filter and search for, specifically with files, individual PDFs that appear from all over the site. But we're still working on that kind of a feature. So that's not available yet, but we are working on it. And same thing with individual activities is something that we're toying around with, but I have no guarantees on when that will be launched or what that final form will look like. So, but definitely on the files.
Perfect. Denise, you'll be able to answer this one. Where are the composer videos right now?
They're not on yet. So we have one composer video in general. I got the permissions for Beethoven Lives Upstairs, so I put it on, and it's the only one that's up now. We're still awaiting our actual physical files. We're going to have them in English, French, and Spanish. They're going to make fabulous subplans, and they are going to go into units listening. I will make use of the units, and I'll learn how to build them. I just haven't got there yet.
All good, all good. Okay. And then I guess last thing is there are some people who are in the in-between of teaching in class and potentially going home. So we just have the request of not deleting any virtual assets or anything, or learning modules or anything that's that focused. So we hear you.
Okay.
Sounds good. We will not touch it.
Okay, I will not edit yet.
Yeah.
I will wait. And of course, I don't have to edit now because you have the ability to do the editing, which is, again, incredible. So I'm not feeling the pressure to change and edit the modules. And to be honest, right now, we are so busy focused on updating those teacher guides so that those new song activities are going to be online for everything, that my time is committed for the next month.
Perfect.
So, are we good?
We are good. We are good.
Okay, so I'm going to thank everybody for staying on with us. It was intended to be an hour, but I have not made it through one of these in an hour yet. There's just lots of new stuff to show, and I haven't even taken you into the instruments section. I've got some things going on in my life that are going to prevent me from doing Wednesdays for the next couple of weeks. So I have my voice surgery scheduled for the 25th, a workshop the week before, but we'll maybe mix it up a little bit and have it on a different day so that we can do a second webinar for anybody who missed, because lots of stuff to learn on the website. So we'll plan that for a different day, and then we'll see how quickly my voice comes back after the surgery and how soon we can get onto a regular schedule of Wednesday webinars. So thank you everybody for coming. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Musicplay team. Everybody give a wave. It's on our Musicplay team. We have this astounding group of people that are building this site and making it the best we can.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This
Those of you
replay
who
will
have
be
started the
available.
school year already, good luck, best wishes, stay strong, stay healthy, and we'll do it. It's going to be a better year this year. It's just going to take a little while to get that Delta variant taken care of.
Absolutely. So this replay will be available on YouTube and on Musicplay Online in the announcements section, which we will rename soon. So come and rewatch whenever you want. Alrighty, thank you guys.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.